Welcome to Kalpit Classroom. Today we will see study of secondary metabolite alkaloid. First of all, we will see what are secondary metabolites. So secondary metabolites, we will see the definition of secondary metabolites. The analysis of plant, fungal and microbial cells shows presence of thousands of compounds other than primary metabolites, and these all compounds are called as secondary metabolites. If we do analysis of plant, fungal or microbial cells, then we will get so many different types of compounds or thousands of different compounds. Those compounds would be other than primary metabolites, and those compounds will be called as secondary metabolites. The examples of secondary metabolites are alkaloids, flavonoids, rubber, essential oils, antibiotics, pigments, gums, and spices. So these all are the compounds totally different than primary metabolites, and hence these all are called as secondary metabolites. And these secondary metabolites are economically and ecologically very much important. And in this presentation we are going to focus only on alkaloid as a secondary metabolite. So our topic is study of secondary metabolite, and we will see only alkaloid information in this presentation. So let's proceed with alkaloids. So what are alkaloids? Alkaloids, as we all know, alkaloids are known as secondary metabolites. So alkaloids are a group of naturally occurring chemical compounds which mostly contains basic nitrogen atoms. These are the secondary metabolites which naturally occurs in different types of plants, fungus or microorganisms. And these naturally occurring chemical compounds are mostly contains a basic nitrogen atom in their chemical structure. So whatever the type and structure of alkaloid it is, there should be a single basic nitrogen presence. The term alkaloid was introduced in 1819 by the German chemist Karl Meissner. So this is the information about alkaloids. So alkaloids are secondary metabolites or a group of naturally occurring chemical compounds which mostly contain a basic nitrogen atom. And this term alkaloid has been firstly introduced by German chemist Karl Meissner in 1819. So this is the general information and background of alkaloids. Now we will proceed further with sources of alkaloid. Alkaloids are naturally produced secondary metabolites by large variety of organisms including bacteria, fungi, plants and animals. So the chief source of alkaloid constitutes different types of bacteria, different types of fungus, plants and animals. So these are the major sources of alkaloids: bacteria, fungi, plants and animals. If we take example of fungi, there is a fungus known as Claviceps purpurea. It is a purple color fungus known as Claviceps purpurea, and this fungus causes ergot disease in rye. Rye means mohari. So, in rye plant, this Claviceps purpurea causes ergot disease, and such ergot contains rich amount of alkaloids, and that alkaloid is known as ergotamina and lysergic acid. So this is the classical example of alkaloid, which is a source from the fungus Claviceps purpurea. And this ergotamine or ergotamina alkaloid is extensively used in pharmaceutical and medical sciences field for the treatment of migraine. In Marathi we called it as अर्धशिशी. अर्ध्या साईडचंच जे डोकं दुखतं त्याच्यावरती जे उपाय करतात, त्याच्यामध्ये जी औषधाची गोळी आपल्याला देतात मायग्रानिल ईसी म्हणून. सो दॅट मायग्रानिल ईसी इज प्रिपेअर्ड फ्रॉम अर्गेटोमाइन फंगस. E stands for ergotamina and C stands for caffeine. So migranil EC is a preparation in medical sciences field which contains alkaloids derived from Claviceps purpurea. Moving further with different sources of alkaloids. Alkaloids occur in various parts of the plants such as stems, rhizomes, root, barks, leaves, fruits and seeds. In previous slide we saw that the majority of sources of alkaloids is plants, animals, fungus and microorganisms. So if we consider only plants, then these alkaloids are present in all plant organs such as roots, stems, rhizomes, barks, leaves, fruits and seeds. If we take example of cinchona or pomegranate, then the alkaloids are present in stems, rhizomes, roots and barks. If we take example of leaves, then leaves of belladonna and hyoscyamus shows large amount of alkaloids. Fruits of black pepper and seeds of Nux vomica means jaifal and areca means supari. So seeds of Nux vomica and areca also constitutes major sources of alkaloids. So these all plants are angiosperms, cinchona, pomegranate, belladonna. So these all are angiosperms. So in plants, the major source of alkaloids is from angiosperms. In very few genus of gymnosperms such as Taxus and Ephetra, alkaloids are present. So in plant kingdom, the major source of alkaloid is from angiosperms. Very few gymnosperms shows presence of alkaloids. Among angiosperms, in dicotyledons families Papaver shows presence of opium group of alkaloids, and the examples are morphine and codeine. These are the two alkaloids morphine and codeine which are used in treatment of cough and cold, and these alkaloids are present in family Papaver. In family Rubiaceae, alkaloids present constitutes quinine, caffeine, theine and theobromine. Family Solanaceae, Leguminosae, Ranunculaceae are also considered as chief sources of alkaloids. In monocotyledons, families like Liliaceae and Amarlidaceae acts as the most promising sources of alkaloids. So whenever we want to say the sources of alkaloids, the majority or the major source of alkaloids is angiosperms. Gymnosperms have very less presence of alkaloids. Again, in angiosperms, dicots shows more amount of alkaloids, whereas monocots shows very less or little amount of alkaloids. Now we will see properties of alkaloids. So most of the alkaloids are colorless, crystalline solids. So whenever we take different types of alkaloids for their investigation, majority of alkaloids would be colorless and crystalline solids. Some alkaloids are colored, and the example is betanidine, which is red in color, or berberine, which is yellow in color. So most of the alkaloids are colorless and crystalline solids, whereas few alkaloids are colored. Some alkaloids are amorphous gums, and all these alkaloids shows a very sharp melting point. The salts of most of the alkaloids are soluble in water and are sparingly soluble in organic solvents. If we take different types of salts of majority of alkaloids, then all those salts would be soluble in water as well as organic solvents. The free bases of alkaloids are soluble in organic non-polar solvents and are insoluble in water. The alkaloids which contain quaternary bases are only water soluble. So, whenever we investigate alkaloids for the purpose of their solubility, then those alkaloids having free bases are soluble in organic nonpolar solvents and insoluble in water. Only those alkaloids which contains quaternary bases are soluble in water. Colchicine, it is one of the type of alkaloid. So colchicine is soluble in alkaline water, acid or normal or regular water. Caffeine is also another type of alkaloid which is freely soluble in water. Quinine hydrochloride is highly soluble in water, whereas quinine sulfate is sparingly soluble in water. So these are properties related with solubility of alkaloids. The alkaloids contain one or more number of nitrogen atoms. Initially, in definition, we saw that all alkaloids shows presence of basic nitrogen atom, and in the properties, the alkaloids contain minimum one or more number of nitrogen atoms. So this is all about properties of secondary metabolites, alkaloids. Again, there is one more slide which is having properties. So most of the alkaloids are basic in nature due to the availability of lone pair of electrons on nitrogen. Alkaloids with basic characters are very much sensitive to decomposition and create a problem during their storage. So majority of the alkaloids shows lone pair of electrons on nitrogen, and because of this lone pair all the alkaloids are basic in nature. And whenever we are going to store these alkaloids, they will create a problem of decomposition. Hence, we cannot store alkaloids for so much time or long durations. Now, we will proceed further with medicinal uses of alkaloids. Medical use of alkaloid has a long history. When the first alkaloids were synthesized in 19th century, they immediately found application in clinical practices. So these are the chemicals or secondary metabolites present inside plants, and these alkaloids have high importance or applications in medical or pharmacy industry, and this use has been reported since 19th century. The solubility of alkaloids and their salts is useful in pharmaceutical industry for the extraction and formulation of final pharmaceutical preparations. Whenever pharmaceutical preparations are preparing, the final preparation or the formulation can be done properly by using different types of alkaloids. In this table, I have given examples of alkaloids and their action. Left hand side are the names of various alkaloids present inside the plant, and right hand side is the use of that alkaloid. For example, you can see vinblastine and vincristine. So these are the alkaloids present in कॅथरॅन्थस रोझियस मीन्स सदाफुली. सदाफुलीच्या झाडामध्ये हे दोन अल्कॅलॉइड्स असणार आहेत अँड देअर यूज इज अँटी ट्यूमर, म्हणजेच कॅन्सरवरती वगैरे त्यांचा वापर होणार आहे. कोडीन, कोकेन, कोल्चिसिन, मॉर्फिन, a huge list is there, and the actions of those alkaloids are also given. For example, cocaine is alkaloid and its action of cocaine is anesthetic. Codeine is alkaloid and its action is cough medicine. So if you are having cough and cold problem, whenever you go to doctor for the treatment of cough, they will prescribe you cough syrup, and all the cough syrups will show presence of this alkaloid codeine, because the codeine is used in the treatment of cough and hence it is called as cough medicine. So this table gives you the information of alkaloids and their actions on human body. Plants contain alkaloids which are used as psychoactive substances, and the example is cocaine. Cocaine acts as a stimulant of the central nervous system. Morphine and codeine act as a strong narcotic painkillers. So there are few alkaloids which are considered as psychoactive substances, and those includes cocaine, morphine and codeine. Alkaloids are also used in food industry, and they are commonly present in exciting drinks such as tea, coffee and coca or various types of cold drinks. So whenever we drink tea or coffee, whatever the alkaloids present in tea or coffee will go into our stomach, will stimulate our nervous system and will give us immediate freshness. So whenever we feel tired or we feel little bit lazy, we always drink tea or coffee, or sometimes we take Coca-Cola or any other cold drink. So whenever we drink tea or coffee, the alkaloids present in tea or coffee will get mixed and will enter in our stomach. They immediately act on our nervous system and give stimulation to our nervous system, which results in giving freshness. So whenever we feel tired, we use or we take tea or coffee. So these all are uses of secondary metabolites, alkaloids. Today I will stop here. Thanks a lot for watching my video. For more videos, Please subscribe my YouTube channel or please visit my personal website sites.google.com/view/Kalpit Mhatre.